Okay, seventh graders, we're looking at the last segment of our study in world history. I really regret that we can't be together to go over this material. We've lost some time and there's quite a bit of material here, but I do want us to cover it. And so I've kind of designed a way for you to do that. Please pay close attention so that you do just what you are expected to do and not more. And why I'm saying that is that there would be hundreds of questions if I were to just say, do all the questions between chapters 22 through 26. And I know that's not realistic, but I have picked 3 sections from each of these chapters, with the exception of chapter 24. You'll notice I've written down, it'll say, do only section so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so in each of the chapters. So all you need to do is make sure that you take time and read it. History is a reading subject. You can't understand things if you don't read it. You might find an answer, but you won't understand how it fits or why it's important unless you take time and read it. And then do those sections that I have asked you to do, and you will receive a grade for your section ones. Most of you have done pretty good on the ones that you've turned into me. Continue to do that good work on this. Okay? In addition to reading and doing those questions that you've been asked, I've assigned a kind of an essay. You'll notice it's number 6 on the list. Choose one event in world history, I'm referring to what we've studied in this textbook, that is interesting to you, and write a 100-word essay. And notice I've underlined it and put it in boldface, as if you were there. So I want you to kind of put yourself in the middle of some particular point of history. Could have been battle. Could have been any number of things that you have an interest in. Something that maybe you've read about or studied before. Just write a story with yourself in it. But now notice what I put here. Make sure your essay is written well, use correct grammar, and write neatly. And then I put, be sure that the account is historically accurate. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I don't want you to make up a story. I want the story to be based on what's in your textbook with history. Now, you have to kind of make up a little bit with yourself being in it. Now, you could be the king. You could be Alexander the Great. You could be any number of people involved as just an ordinary soldier or whatever. But, you choose some way that you can be in the story that you're writing about. You'd be surprised that 100 words is not very much. And so if you take your time and think about it, and please don't just get to the 100th word and stop in the middle of a thought. Finish the essay, okay? Don't look at it. Why I give the 100 words here is I want it to be at least that. And some of you that enjoy writing and enjoy history, if you want to have it longer, that's fine. But, the purpose is not to sit there and just count all the ands and thes, and count those as words and say, well, I've gotten the words done, I'm done. But find some story, something in history that you enjoy, and put yourself in it and write a little story accurately from the textbook about it, okay? Then the last thing I decided to do was give you the final exam. And of course, you're fortunate because you're going to be able to use your book as you take the final exam. There's not a lot of questions. It's not very long. There's also a map on it, which should be very easy for you to do. Everyone should make 100 on the final exam. But I thought perhaps that would be the best way for you to review not just these last chapters. There are questions taken from the last chapters, but also for the rest of the text. Now, let me remind you, your textbook has a glossary and it has an index. So as you go through the text, if you get stumped and you can't find something, don't get all frustrated and panicky. Look it up in the index of the glossary, or look up, something in the question that would put it into the time frame of the history, and I believe you'll be able to find all the answers and do very, very well. Well, hopefully you have learned some things this year in world history. And again, when you're in high school, you'll have world history again. And Much of this will be a help to you. Have a good day.